the perimeter following the offseason departures of both LeBron James and Rui Hachimura. When you lose that volume of offensive creation and sheer physical defensive presence in a single summer, the front office cannot afford to stand pat if they want to maximize the current championship window. The margin for error in the Western Conference is practically zero, and finding a dynamic two-way wing who can instantly plug those staggering gaps is the ultimate roster puzzle. We're hearing significant chatter about one specific target who could theoretically shift the defensive geometry of this entire team, but pulling it off requires navigating some highly complex salary cap gymnastics. According to Adel Ahmad over at Heavy.com, there is a sprawling hypothetical three-team trade framework currently being proposed that would finally land unrestricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga in Los Angeles. The Atlanta Hawks notably declined Kuminga's $24.3 million team option earlier this summer, thrusting the 23-year-old onto the open market. In this speculative sign-and-trade scenario, the Lakers would receive Kuminga alongside Jericho Sims. To facilitate this, the Milwaukee Bucks would acquire Dalton Knecht and a 2031 second-round pick from Washington, while the Hawks would receive Jared Vanderbilt, Jake LaRavia, and the Lakers' precious 2032 first-round pick. It is critical to note that this is an unconfirmed framework and purely speculative at this stage, but the sheer mechanics of it tell us exactly what kind of maneuvers Rob Pelinka has to consider. From a front office strategy perspective, this framework highlights the brutal realities of the modern collective bargaining agreement. The Lakers have extremely limited financial flexibility right now, meaning any pursuit of a high-dollar free agent like Kuminga absolutely mandates a sign-and-trade maneuver to legally absorb his salary. Kuminga is reportedly seeking a larger contract than his recent value might strictly dictate, which is precisely why both parties remain in a holding pattern. By theoretically sacrificing a future asset like the 2032 first-round pick and rotation players like Vanderbilt and Knecht, the front office would be signaling an all-in commitment to immediate asset optimization. It's a calculated gamble to dodge devastating second apron limitations while attempting to consolidate mid-tier salaries into a legitimate high-upside wing who fits the timeline.
Translating these dollars to the hardwood under J.J. Redick's tactical blueprint, Kuminga's fit is undeniably fascinating. Redick's system relies heavily on space and gravity and high-velocity ball movement, but it absolutely requires athletic point-of-attack defenders who can switch across multiple positions to survive against elite Western Conference offenses. Kuminga offers relentless rim pressure and inverted pick-and-roll creation that the Lakers desperately lack right now. If you pair his downhill athleticism with Redick's emphasis on dribble handoff actions and floor spacing, Kuminga could theoretically thrive in a slightly more structured offensive environment, stepping into the exact two-way void left behind by Hachimura and James. Meanwhile, adding Jericho Sims provides an extra layer of rim deterrence to insulate the front court. However, we have to look at this objectively and ask if this theoretical package genuinely elevates the roster to the gold standard of Lakers' legacy. Surrendering a high-value future first-round pick alongside a promising shooter like Knecht and a proven defender in Vanderbilt for a player who still has offensive inconsistencies is a massive swing. While the defensive upside is mouthwatering, does Jonathan Kuminga actually provide enough reliable catch-and-shoot efficiency to make this team a true title threat under J.J. Redick? Does this tactical adjustment actually make them a top-tier contender, or is the front office giving up too much flexibility for a player who hasn't fully established his max contract value? Drop your tactical breakdown in the comments below.
Evaluating a franchise's timeline often means making incredibly uncomfortable, heavily scrutinized decisions, and the Los Angeles Lakers are currently staring down a highly unique roster dilemma. With the legendary shadow of LeBron James recently departing the franchise after an 8-year tenure, the organization must ruthlessly pivot its focus towards surrounding Luka Doncic with elite, battle-ready talent. This relentless pursuit of a Banner 18 demands that every single roster spot and dollar spent yields tangible on-court value. Right now, there is growing noise regarding a polarizing developmental asset currently occupying a guaranteed contract on this roster for the 2026-27 season, and if the front office is truly committed to immediate contention, we have to unpack the tape on a potential consolidation move. A new report from Adel Ahmad at Heavy.com outlines a theoretical, highly intriguing trade proposal centered around Bronny James. In this purely hypothetical scenario, the Lakers would package Bronny James, Jake LaRavia, and a future second-round pick, shipping them to the Indiana Pacers. In return, Los Angeles would secure 22-year-old forward Jarace Walker. Last season, the former 8th overall pick finally found his footing in the league, showcasing serious flashes by averaging over 11 points per game across nearly 26 minutes a night. Again, this is not a finalized deal, and we have to treat it as an unconfirmed front office concept, but the underlying logic perfectly illustrates the harsh economic realities of team building in the luxury tax era. When analyzing Rob Pelinka's broader strategy here, this move is entirely about asset optimization and escaping the unforgiving restrictions of the luxury tax hard cap. Bronny James showed noticeable improvement last year, boosting his percentages from the field, the three-point line, and the free throw line, looking far more poised in year 2. However, his guaranteed deal for the upcoming season represents a developmental timeline that arguably directly conflicts with the urgent championship window constructed around Luka Doncic. Moving a developmental prospect alongside a rotation piece like LaRavia in order to land a serviceable, NBA-ready two-way forward is standard operating procedure for a front office trying to dodge the punitive first and second aprons.
Tactically, bringing a player like Jarace Walker into Redick's offensive philosophy makes a tremendous amount of sense. Redick's system demands bigs and forwards who can process the floor at a high level, execute dribble handoff actions, and offer secondary playmaking from the high post. Walker projects as exactly that type of versatile chess piece, a sturdy front court presence who can theoretically provide switchability on defense while serving as a reliable connector on offense. The Lakers have been desperately seeking a two-way forward this summer, someone who can offer point-of-attack resistance without severely shrinking the floor. Integrating a 22-year-old with genuine upside into Redick's high-velocity ball movement system could yield immediate dividends in the half-court. But let's be entirely clinical about this theoretical maneuver. The optics of trading the 21-year-old son of arguably the greatest player in franchise history the exact same summer his father leaves are undeniably messy. Yet, the gold standard of this organization dictates that winning supersedes sentimentality. If moving Bronny James to a smaller market like Indiana allows him to develop without the crushing spotlight of Los Angeles, while simultaneously netting the Lakers a legitimate rotation forward, isn't that a win-win for all parties involved? Does flipping a developmental project for a 22-year-old piece like Jarace Walker actually move the needle for a deep playoff run? Or is the front office churning the bottom of the roster without addressing their primary shot creation needs? Drop your thoughts below.
The tactical blueprint for dominating the modern NBA requires an absolute premium on floor spacing and relentless rim deterrence, and right now the Los Angeles Lakers are severely lacking in the shooting department. After losing Rui Hachimura, a lethal 45% three-point shooter, to the rival Clippers, the offensive geometry of this team has been fundamentally compromised. If the front office expects to maximize Luka Doncic's elite generational playmaking, they cannot march into the regular season without replacing that catch-and-shoot efficiency. Today, we are diving into a highly complex, multi-layered rumor that attempts to solve this exact spacing crisis while simultaneously bolstering the interior rotation. According to Adel Ahmad at Heavy.com, a massive hypothetical 4-team trade scenario has surfaced that would dramatically reshape the Lakers' rotation. In this unconfirmed framework, Los Angeles would acquire 5-time All-Star Klay Thompson, center Daniel Gafford, and A.J. Johnson from the Dallas Mavericks. The mechanics are wild. Dallas would receive Fred VanVleet and Dorian Finney-Smith, theoretically clearing the deck to sign James Harden in free agency. To make the math work, the Lakers would send Bronny James to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We must strictly emphasize that this is a conceptual framework generated by analysts, not a confirmed transaction, but it forces us to evaluate exactly how far this front office is willing to go to surround Luka Doncic with elite complementary pieces. From a cap management and front office strategy perspective, executing a 4-team mega deal is an absolute high-wire act. Rob Pelinka would be taking on older money in Klay Thompson and solidifying the payroll around Daniel Gafford, which has massive implications regarding the dreaded second apron limitations. At 36 years old and clearly past his two-way superstar prime, Thompson is no longer the defensive stopper he once was. However, the front office's gamble here is entirely based on gravity. By potentially utilizing this trade as a fallback option if they strike out on Jonathan Kuminga, the Lakers are prioritizing veteran shot-making over youthful development, an aggressive stance that aligns perfectly with a win-now championship window.
When we translate this hypothetical package to the floor, the fit within JJ Redick's system is incredibly highly conceptualized. Thompson, who still registered a 38% three-point percentage while averaging roughly 12 points per game last year, represents the ultimate catch-and-shoot weapon to pair with Redick's off-ball screening actions. Surrounding Doncic with Thompson's historic shooting gravity creates massive driving lanes. Furthermore, acquiring Daniel Gafford provides a proven clean fit next to Luka from their Dallas days. Pairing the 27-year-old Gafford with the recently acquired Walker Kessler would instantly give the Lakers one of the most formidable, rim-protecting front courts in the association, perfectly executing the drop coverage and elite lob threat responsibilities demanded by modern NBA defenses. But let's deliver an honest assessment of this proposed blockbuster. We are talking about anchoring your perimeter spacing to a 36-year-old guard. While Thompson could theoretically thrive in a reduced star bench player role, relying on him as your primary secondary floor spacer is a significant physical